Okay, so Mr. Lim, thank you for coming tonight.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, sure. So I will ask you a few questions about your job and so on. So first of all, could you please just introduce yourself and like your background, your everyday tasks and so on?
My background is very simple. I study in the University of Macau, and my major is Human Resources Management. And then I graduated in 2013, and then this is my first job.
Okay.
Right after my graduation, I joined Grand Hyatt Macau as an learning and development assistant. And then after some times I got promoted, and then I became the assistant manager of learning and development.
Okay.
Yeah, this is my very short career path.
Sure. So basically, what do you do in your everyday task in your job?
Mainly checking emails.
Okay.
And sure, we oversee all the learning and development activities in the hotel. For example, we arrange trainings for colleagues, and also to identify some training needs from other departments. Like we will arrange some, for example, language classes. For example, for housekeeping colleagues who don't really know English, and we can teach them English. And then for some foreigners, we teach them Cantonese or Mandarin to help them fit better in the job, in the positions, and to carry out their daily tasks every day. And mainly I do this. And sometimes we also need to liaise with some different departments for example, arranging training times, something like that. This is my quite routine task, I would say. And also we've got internship students, trainees, and we also need to take care of them. And no matter in my department or in other departments, because learning and development also takes care of all the internship trainees in the hotel.
How often and in which way do you have to deal with international challenges?
I would say it depends, because actually we receive messages from corporate office quite regularly. For example, once a month, they've got some e-letters signing out from the corporate office, and every year they will have some very important messages from the CEO. Let's say, for example, they bring some changes in terms of our associates' mindset, or how the corporation is going to move forward to embrace with different kind of challenges, for example. But sometimes our work also requires us to contact other sister properties. For example, sometimes we are sending colleagues to our sister properties for trainings. So we would, the most simplest way, we use email.
Yeah, sure.
And also if sister properties from near cities, for example, PRC or Hong Kong, definitely sometimes we will use IDD. We will use telephone calls.
Yeah, sure.
And I would say mainly we will use email, because sometimes we will have documents back and forth, and then we also rely on email very much.
Okay.
Yes.
And for you, is it like complicated to cooperate with people from other culture and other maybe languages? And
so far, I haven't found this as a challenging task, because most of us use English well, and then so we communicate in English. And then for sure, if just now I was talking about some cities, for example, in PRC or in Hong Kong, when you're using telephones, for sure we use Cantonese or Mandarin. But in most of our written messages would be in English.
Okay.
That's why it's still easy for us.
Okay. And do you feel some differences in the cultural differences?
So far, no, because we have created our own culture. We are very hyatt, we would say. We are high people.
Yeah.
So we have a very unique high culture, rather than we got adopted to our high culture very well. I would say everyone in hyatt.
Okay. Nice. At which level do you deal with other Hyatt all around the world and with like collaborators and so on?
I would say not in a very high level. I would say mainly some liaisons about resending colleagues for overseas training and not to a very corporate to corporate levels. Only, for example, department to department, learning and development to learning and development. I would say in the departmental level.
Yeah. Thank you. Is it possible that you talk just quickly about the company, its presence in Macau, in Asia?
Long story to tell because actually Hyatt has its first overseas hotel in 1969, which is in Hong Kong, very close here. And in Macau, I think some of the locals or some locals with a certain age will know that we have an old Hyatt Regency in Macau, which closed at I think 2006, something like that. And then in 2009, we have Grand Hyatt Macau here. So actually, we would say Hyatt is putting much emphasis on expanding in Asia Pacific area, and especially in China and in Southeast Asia. So I would say we are expanding quite quickly because Hyatt is not a very old company, less than 60 years old, but it expands very quickly, and now we have more than 560 hotels all over the world, and keep expanding all over the world globally, especially in Asia Pacific, I would say.
Okay, thank you. And you know what's the main reasons maybe to extend or just like the wish to develop all around the world?
I think Hyatt would like to extend cares to the world. This is also our purpose to exist. As I've said, we've got some corporate information every year, and then recently we've got some information about care, which is our purpose. Why we exist? Because we would like to extend our care and would like to create experiences for people and make the destination that we build our hotels, we have our hotels to be the destinations of the guests.
Okay, thank you. For you, is it more interesting as a fresh graduate student to enter in a big company as Hyatt or maybe a big casino in Macau, or maybe in a smaller structure like a startup, for example?
For me, I would really recommend fresh grads to enter a big company because I would say big companies would be more systematic, and definitely you can learn more things in big companies, and because you cope with more people, you can have your learning arranged more systematically, and you've got more resources in terms of learning and development activities. For me, because actually I was enlightened by my professors, my marketing professors, who told me that please try to enter an international brand for your startup rather than a small local brand, because you grab your good experience and and I think, for example, specifically for Hyatt, which is very famous for its trainings, modules, so I think starting up the career in Hyatt would be a very good choice.
And I guess also that you have a huge possibility of progression in the company and to maybe travel abroad for your future job, but still in Hyatt. Is it like an ambition for you, or?
For me, I think that Hyatt is really a good place because for me personally, I don't really desire working in a really huge hotel together with casinos like Sheraton or So I don't really decide working in there because first of all, there would be a lot more associate inside, and the structure of the organization would be much more complicated with what I'm coping with, and also it would be much difficult for HR specialists and also a training specialist in terms of handling different kinds of associates like casino dealers, engineering colleagues, chefs. Okay, this would be quite brings HR some panic, times we panic, and So and then really I enjoy working in Grand Macau because this is not a very big company, around less than 1,000 associates, and then whenever I walk through the corridor, most of the colleagues will recognize me and then proactively greet me, say hello, good morning Brian, have you had your breakfast yet, how are you coming back so early, you work at 9, something like that, so which makes me think that I could not find this kind of warmth in other companies. That's why I think Hyatt would still be my desired workplace for at least future 5 years, let's say for example, and I think I have made satisfactory progress here, and I spent 10 months time to get a position of an officer, and then after a year and some months more, and then I get an opportunity to have an excitement, on having my new roles and responsibilities, and Hyatt does give many opportunities for us to try different new things. That's why Hyatt would be still my very desired workplace.
Yes, sure. It seems that the human level is important for you now, like the
exactly. Exactly. Because I think that being treated like a human is very important. Mutual respect, and also it's never the matter of money. I would say, because I believe that hotels outside, they offer good salary, definitely better salary than Hyatt. However, there is a lot of things that couldn't be bought with money. For example, your development and your satisfaction here, and then I can really feel that it's really like a family, not a company. Okay, we address each other as friends but not colleagues. This kind of warmth is something that I really appreciate very much.
How is Hyatt hotel in Macau different from Hyatt hotels in different countries and continents, maybe? And so I would like to ask another question about the adaptation needed to integrate the Chinese and Macanese market.
I would say Hyatt hotels in every single countries would carry local features. I would say every single Hyatt hotels are custom made for the local culture. That's why I would say but something you can still find in common. For example, we've got lots of brands. Okay, for example, for Grand Hyatt, Grand brand, you can no matter which Grand Hyatt you're visiting, you can still see very grand lobbies, very spacious guest rooms, lots of restaurants, very strong events and convention venues. These are the features or characteristics of some brands. However, geographically, I would say they are unique. They are unique. They adapt into local cultures very well to make Grand Hyatt Macau very Macau. Grand Hyatt Shanghai very Shanghai. Let's say, for example. But coming to your second question, how Hyatt hotels are doing in order to adapt into Chinese culture. I share something about Grand Hyatt Macau very special. in Chinese we got lucky numbers 8
Yeah.
because it's related to having good fortune. Okay, that's why our 2 top suites, presidential suites and chairman suites, they are denoted as 888 and 48.
Okay.
Yes, and also for our level numbers and also room numbers, we would never contain number 4,
Yeah. Okay.
which is not good in Chinese, and we would never contain 13 as well.
Yeah.
Again, both local standards and international standards.
Yeah.
Okay, because we at the same time we take care of Chinese guests and also foreign guests.
Yeah.
That's why we would like to satisfy everybody's wants at the same time. So we don't have 13, we don't have 40, we don't have anything related to 4 for the guest rooms and for levels. Okay, so I think this is a little story about how we are going to adapt to specifically Chinese culture.
Yeah, and I guess in different countries, maybe in, I don't know, South America.
They have different taboos, I would say, and then they would try to prevent. And I believe because we are quite a flexible company, and we really can adapt to different cultures very well. That's why we are keep expanding our hotels, and we are opening more and more hotels in the future for sure.
Okay. What's Hyatt's strategy in Macau, facing the big competition that can exist here?
You're right. The competition here is very strong, I would say, because we have lots of new hotels opening these days. We got Jade Marriott, we've got Ritz-Carlton, we've got Studio City just newly opened, and then with the grand opening spending over 10 billion, over $1 billion. I heard. Okay, we've got lots of celebrities coming here. We've got Broadway, and I would say we are doing something back to basics. Because our perspective is no matter how beautiful the hotel is built, no matter how grand the lobby is, how spacious your guest rooms are, the key to impress the guests, the key to create a very extraordinary experience to the guests would be our services.
Yeah.
That's why we are doing some back to basics and to see how are we going to deliver good services rather than we just comply to our so-called brand standards. Okay, because Hyatt used to be a company which emphasized a lot on brand standards. And however, we are doing some changes, and then we are trying to make the whole interaction between guests and our associates more human, more personalized, and more of creating experience rather than just performing our tasks like doing homework. We hate this one because we are not a robot. We're human beings. Okay, we want to have a more emotional connection with our guests rather than I'm just a robot and then doing check-in, check-out. Everyone approach the counter, I use the same scripts, and we are going to dumping this kind of thoughts and practices because we used to be programmed to work like this because we've got a long checklist that we got to fulfill, and we have lots of brand standards that we have to comply with. But however, we found that our brand standard may not equals to our guest preference. It's totally different. Can be. Okay, that's why we are doing to do something like getting rid of or eliminating our brand standards from a few hundreds into some of them very basics one. And just to try to encourage our associates to be themselves when they are performing their tasks, and then use their own way to impress the guests, and for sure in a good way impress them, and create a very positive, exciting, extraordinary, and unforgettable experience to our guests, which is the way that we think that we can survive here rather than everyone doing the same thing. And then because actually we find out that most of our guests, they are quite rational, meaning that they will when they plan to come to Macau, they will check the price, okay, and then which hotel is cheaper, and then they will go for which one. But we want to gain more loyalty from our guests. We want to make our guests crazy about Hyatt. No matter where I go, if there is a Hyatt as their destination, they will go straight for Hyatt. We want to make this. That's why we want to add more passion to our associates, and then because too many standards will, make our passions reduced, and then we are not really performing our tasks truly from our heart. We're just complying with lots of scripts, long checklists, standards, something like that. That's why we are going to unleash our colleagues and make them to work in a more personalized service or experience to our guests. Because service is easy. Okay, you just follow the service sequence, and then you just do what the guests expect or what your boss expect, and then you finish your task. However, it could never impress our guests. We have to go beyond their expectations, do more than they expected, and then adjust and also acknowledge their needs, and then that's why we have spent some effort in terms of recording guest preferences, and also we want to wow them at the moment that they sit down, and we still remember them, greet them, okay, welcome back here, as a kind of special recognition. We are doing something like that in order to customize their experience in Grand Macau and in all other Hyatt hotels.
Sure, in the world, and maybe I think it's really important not just for the hotel company, maybe for all the companies to can provide a personalized service.
Simply when you go into a boutique, you would never like the sales reading script like a robot, then they do very formulated things to you. You would like some really personal. I'd rather the sales would say, I think this outfit doesn't fit you. And let me introduce something that fits you more, and let me introduce something special for you only, which only fits you. This is what we want. This is what we call experience rather than simply a service.
Yeah, sure. Okay, and I have a last question for you. Does Hyatt plan to launch maybe a new hotel or a new business?
So far, according to my knowledge, no. So far, no. But I know that Hyatt is again expanding very quickly in China, Greater China area, I would say. That's why I would say joining Hyatt still got lots of opportunities, and as from HR perspective and also L&D's perspective, I can still see Hyatt is very potential and aggressive in terms of expanding. That's why I would be very proud in working for Hyatt so far.
Sure. Okay, so I'm done with the question. Maybe you have something to say more. I don't know about the subject we talk about.
As I've mentioned, because I would say because I have no hotel background before. I'm not studying IFT. I have no operations experiences, and then when I joined the hotel, I'm a blank sheet of paper, knowing nothing about hotel operations, and then even knowing nothing about the terms they are using, what occupancy is, and then RevPAR. I know nothing about that. However, my team and also Hyatt gives me lots of opportunity. Like I have done a 1 month cross exposure in F&B. I went through different outlets, and also I spent time in banquet services, catering, and lobby lounge, and also the Chinese restaurant in Grand Macau, which helped me to have a bigger picture of how a hotel is really running, and also some because it is important for a facilitator to know how the operational colleagues is facing every day. For example, what kind of guests they're facing, and then what kind of challenges they are having every day, what kind of examples are good to use during training facilitations, which is very important for a trainer. And yes, again, Hyatt gives me lots of opportunities. I learned lots of things here. For example, I never did video shooting during my high school, university life, but I learned it here. I never did photography, but now I am recognized as a quite good photographer in the hotel. And I learned lots of things here, and then I learned how to. I would also recognize myself as halfly a hotelian, half hotelian, because I think I still got lots to learn. For example, something related to rooms, front office, housekeeping. However, as an HR graduate, I still want to pursue some more practical practices or experience in human resources. That's why I'm also pursuing an opportunity to see if I can, look into the HR functions in the hotel. And I believe that my team and also my hotel would support, and then we encourage learning very much. And this is our mission, and then we definitely hope to develop more future hotelians, because we emphasize very much on grooming local people to be the future backbones of the hotel. We use internal promotion as a kind of a recognition of internal performing colleagues. That's why we got lots of opportunity here. And then again, it's important for me, because I think I'm very lucky that I can join an industry that I love very much, hotel, and then I love my job very much because I love talking a lot, and then I think this is a very good job for me, because mainly my job is to talk, to talk and to chat, to cooperate. To communicate with people. That's why I'm lucky to have a good opportunity like this, and then I hope everyone would know your direction, and you could eventually pursue what you want to. Thank you very much for inviting me again.
Thanks to you to take time for us. And
my pleasure to share my experience.
It was really interesting.